sorry, I have one other question. Colonel Constantino, you had provided the name of someone who we could ask questions to, and then you just indicated that it was the incorrect person?
Yes.
Are you going to provide the correct contact?
Absolutely, and it's a public affairs person with the Department of Justice who you can ask questions about the lawsuit.
Okay.
That's what that person is for.
What about asking questions about this article and not the lawsuit?
Yeah, I'm going to have to, I need a little lawyer support on that, as where the line is on that. So if you have, my recommendation is if you have questions, send them to me and I'll work through them.
Okay.
If it's okay, I'm sorry to keep everyone, but I prepared a statement because I wasn't expecting a very productive response from DoD tonight. So I would just like to read the statement that I prepared, if that's okay.
Yes.
Okay. Colonel Constantino, I was not expecting a genuine and elaborate answer from DoD when I requested that the DoD give their perspective on the contents of this article as an item on the agenda for this meeting. However, I am deeply disappointed in the lack of detailed response with any substance tonight. And while DoD is not prepared to answer community questions facing the lifelong repercussions of PFC water contamination from years of AFFF use at military installations, I am prepared tonight to tell DoD my reactions to reading this extremely thorough and well-written article. The article provides a detailed timeline of events and documents indicating the environmental and health concerns of the PFCs and the firefighting foam used by DoD and were known by members of the DoD as far back as 1995. I would like to share my personal timeline with you. In 1995, I was 13 years old, in 7th grade. Getting married and having children were certainly not on my mind in 1995. However, in 2007, at the age of 25, my then fiancé, now husband, was offered a job on Pease, and we had the very fortunate opportunity to move from Massachusetts to Portsmouth and buy a home. We were married in 2008, and we welcomed our first child into the world in 2011. She will be 7 2 weeks from today. As you can imagine, having to find a daycare for your 12-week-old infant is a very emotional and difficult task for new parents. However, we felt incredibly blessed to be offered an opening at the very reputable and beautiful Great Bay Kids Company Daycare Center on Pease, just down the street from this very building. And an added bonus was that my husband could see the window of the infant classroom where my daughter was in daycare during the day from his office at window on Pease. It was a perfect fit. We were fortunate enough to welcome our second child, a son, in June of 2013, and again, at 12 weeks old, we enrolled him into the same child care center on Pease. Not once did we ever think the water was contaminated or unsafe. Of all the worries a parent of small children can have, and trust me, there are many, we never once questioned the quality of the water on Pease, as our children drank water daily while at daycare. Fast forward to May of 2014, when I read a newspaper article online right before the Memorial Day weekend that high levels of PFCs were found in the drinking water at Pease, and as a result, the Haven well was closed down. My initial reaction was panic, as I knew nothing about these chemicals and had never even heard of PFCs, but I did know that my entire family drank the water on Pease daily. Little did I know then that I was about to embark on a lifelong journey of asking hard questions, advocating strongly for my community, and my forever worry of the health of my children. And we all know the rest of this story since 2014. However, I can't help but wonder when I read this article where the ball was dropped 20 plus years ago when I was that 13-year-old girl in 7th grade. If the DoD had taken a more proactive approach in not only stopping the use of the foam, but connecting the dots that these toxic chemicals contaminated thousands of water supplies across the nation, and taking it one step further to proactively test supplies of these chemicals, I wonder, would I be sitting here today? Would my beautiful, precious, apple of my eye children have high levels of toxic chemicals in their body from drinking poisoned water while on daycare at Pease? Unfortunately, it's a question I will never have answered. In the absence of a response from the DoD tonight, I would like the DoD to know that your lack of action 10, 15, and 20 years ago have forever changed my life and the life of my family. I will never stop worrying about the health of my family because of this incredibly unfortunate situation. This experience has robbed me of my time, my energy, and some of my happiness of being a mother. I live with the fear that my children will get sick, develop cancer, may not be able to have children of their own, have significant chronic health conditions, and worse. This experience has been devastating, and to know that more could have been done decades ago when I was a child myself is an incredibly hard pill to swallow. Although we cannot return in time and undo the situation that has impacted my family and millions across the nation, I hope DoD can learn from this incredibly tragic and devastating situation and prevent future environmental contaminations and exposures to their servicemen and women and civilians in surrounding communities. And most importantly, I hope DoD can acknowledge the errors from their past, take ownership for missteps, and work diligently to make the situation as right as they can. A good first start would be apologizing to the many people with high levels of PFCs in their blood and not hiding behind a rehearsed legal response that provides no answers to people like myself with so many questions. Thank you.
Any other closing comments? If not, thank you, and we'll adjourn.